just me? Or is my connection just bugging? Everything's just going wrong. Like even the whole music's going wrong. Anyways, people, welcome back to Never a Foul. Another episode. More to talk about. Lots of transfer stuff. I've actually had to miss out some transfer stuff, but we'll talk on it anyways. I haven't got him in a title, but Liam Delap is again. Looks like there's going to be a tussle between two teams. Arsenal confirmed talks with Gyokeres' agent yet again. So there's more talks. I think Chelsea are also in talks with his agent as well. Maresca, we'll talk about him. Hopefully Ches can... It's funny, isn't it? Like every time Chelsea mess up, Ches is nowhere to be seen. Shock. You might be onto sign hooks. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, we'll talk about that. I want to see what some of you fans think that are Chelsea fans in the comments. We're going to talk about Amorim as well and Ange. Are they going to share the same fate? Semenyo as well is another one on the agenda. Again, funny enough for both Spurs and Man United. So everything kind of links in its own way in terms of the title. So big up to you all. Make sure you smash the likes. Again, apologies for being late. This is more late than we usually are. So Monts will just jump in when he will, and then so forth and so forth. Actually, you know what? Better that. Why don't we just have him here in spirit? There we go. What you man saying?
3 point.
Right, Sophia. That's the one. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
It's incredible.
Wait.
Another games he loses, isn't it?
Where there's no Chelsea fans. Well, why is it?
So I'll tell you the exact message.
Whenever Chelsea drop,
never had this issue before. By the way,
I haven't seen Don in about 7 months.
He says, "Look, I said, yo, tomorrow 12 p.m. as I would send you all in it. Obviously, Jay, you Hawks, Mike, you respond very quickly. Ches next morning, work to around then. Send link. I'll let you know if I can make it before 12:30. It's now 12:26.
Typical.
See, this is why we have a big issue in the content creator fan base when it comes to trying and Chelsea guys, because I'll be replacing a lot of these Chelsea guys otherwise. We need a bet. We need to create some more, find some new talent. So anyone that's got new Chelsea content creators, let me know, because certain man's place will be under threat. We'll make someone new. You know what I mean? We'll big them up just to destroy them and corrupt them as we do on Never a Foul.
Yeah, no, definitely. But the problem is, Kaz, when you get the level-headed Chelsea fans, they've only got like a year in them before the whole Blue Co project goes belly up. Do you know what I mean? So in a year's time, they look like they were overly positive. Having been an Ange lover, listen, guys, I know how you just got to turn up, take your licks. It'll be all right, mate. So we'll get there in the end. No?
Are you still Ange?
I'm not. And listen, nobody with eyes can be Ange in at the moment. But spirit of Roberto Di Matteo, right? Do you know what I mean? When the back's against the wall, you deliver us a European trophy. Maybe you'll have your job next season. Maybe you won't. Who knows?
We need to work on this though, because by the way,
you can on the devil.
Are you turn up?
He's turned up. He heard in the background. He heard that. Oh, my pace is on the front. Are you mad? I hear it.
We need
continue.
We need the camera on.
We'll continue anyways. We'll get there.
Explanations. We need explanations. Yeah. Because you man is looking a bit spooky for Champions League football. We need explanations.
I can
say that as well.
It's his favorite conversation. There we go. There's another one. There we go.
Oh damn. We need explanations.
Hey, wait, I'm in the right to say that as well, yeah?
Yeah, you're in the conversation, 100%.
Yeah.
Max,
Yeah.
you can't deny that.
Barely.
No, I'm saying, don't say barely, bro. We'll be finishing with the same thing in the league, which is Champions League football hooks. You know this, man. What are we doing, bro?
But what might I be finishing with?
Another final in the Champions League without winning it.
Yeah,
you do.
We'll see, man.
As you do, bro.
We'll see, man. We'll see.
You know what? I'm going to be finishing with a cup. As you know, FA Cup is mine. Who's going to stop me? No one.
You know what?
Yeah.
What would be more of a meltdown? I know this is off topic. Wolfie getting kicked out of the obviously off the Champions League spots and losing the FA Cup, on Chelsea not finishing in the Champions League spot.
Do you want to know what's funny about that, Kaz? I think Chelsea played Forest last game of the season, right?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Oh my God, it could come down to
that's
that.
It. That's it. The Champions League qualification will be on that game. I'm almost certain it's going to be on that game. Both, because I look at both of them. Forest maybe running out of a little steam. Chelsea have got horrible fixtures. I think whoever wins that game out of those two will qualify for the Champions League.
Chelsea's fixtures are mad, you know.
Yeah, but they usually play better when teams allow them to have space in behind. That's what I always say.
Mad.
I think we'd have a score draw against them. Don't get me wrong, but I think Forest will also not win against someone like West Ham away. That's the difference because they play low block now under Graham Potter for now.
But
when there's a team when you
have
can
confidence, Kaz, that Potter Potter's
at West Ham.
Potter's team isn't predictable though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, I hear it, but my whole thing is like when Chelsea are allowed to have space to running behind, there's space to run into. They are dangerous. They create chances. To be fair to Maresca, yeah, which we'll talk on. Unless you don't want to even talk about that first, it's up to you. Is that he's not the one finishing off these chances? They're missing big chances, by the way.
Yeah,
up front, they're missing it for him. That's why I wanted the conversation because I see a lot of Chelsea fans. They're not really for Maresca, but then there's some saying, "But look at these players. Look how horrible they're finishing."
It's the control of the game and because I only watched bits of them versus Wolves because Ipswich because Spurs were playing at the same time. But when I watch Chelsea play, they've got this is the problem with the signings they're making. How many of the players are improving at the rate that Chelsea need them to improve them for, like to get to where they want to be? They spent over $1 billion. And I don't want to be someone who's like, oh, you spent $1 billion. But you spent $1 billion. Haven't played Champions League football yet. Champions League football is not guaranteed this season. I'm interested to see, I'm seeing the transfer links, people like Delap and stuff like that. I think Newcastle, and Newcastle will probably finish top 4 twice in 3 years, and they've won a trophy. If you look at what they've done, the kind of players that they've bought, slightly more established players, who've got a couple of good seasons, maybe even spending a little bit over the odds to secure them. Like Newcastle will look at their project and look at Chelsea's project, even against Tottenham's project as well, and be like, we have a better project. Do you know what I mean? We're delivering better on our project than you are. We're spending less. We're doing more. We've got more top players than you.
Yeah.
When I look at it, you can look at the sporting directors maybe a little bit more than the coaches because you've had Potter, Tuchel for a second, but a cup of coffee, Poch, obviously Maresca now. Are they all bad coaches? Is it like a mash of different players? Is it? I think it's way too early to be like, oh, Maresca's doing this and doing that because, like Kaz says, they're playing broadly okay, but then they're having moments in games where you shouldn't really have Ipswich bossing you for 20 minutes at home. Do you know what I mean? So I'm trying to give him a little bit of leeway, but I'm also like, I get why Chelsea fans.
He's still a fairly new coach as well.
Maresca's getting the issues from the Chelsea fans being annoyed with the board. I think it's all coming together to criticism for Maresca, but I don't think all of the criticism is for Maresca.
That's actually very fair.
He's still a fairly new coach as just in general, not even at Chelsea, just like in general. So I don't know, man. I feel like you have to give him like his first whole season, cool, and then give him another season and see what happens. Like I think it would be incredible. Well, actually, Chelsea's known for just cutting people like when they feel like it, but I don't know. I feel like you could just fall into this never-ending cycle of bringing someone new in and then direction change. I feel like you just need a manager there for a period of time that obviously you hope that they win you things, but at the very least, they need to stabilize your club. So whoever does come in next, there's not too much for them to do.
But
just like
you're talking about Spurs now?
Chelsea
could become Spurs. Yeah, Chelsea could become Spurs, never stable.
Well, you say that, but the thing is that Spurs have finished above Chelsea 2 out of back-to-back since Clear Lake has come in. So really, Chelsea have actually done worse than Spurs over the last couple of years. That's with new ownership as well. So
more money spent.
Yeah, exactly. I see Spurs. I think Spurs has scored the 3rd highest goals. I'm sure a competent coach will get Spurs 10 places higher, like overnight. Like I might be being confident, but with Chelsea, it's just like I'm just looking at what who comes into Chelsea and they're exponentially a better team?
I'll tell you. I got one for you. I got one for you. I don't know if you're going to agree with this, Ches, as well. Certain men that are getting released this season, probably more than factually going to happen. Who says no to Ancelotti?
Who says no?
Who says no with the team that they got? No to Ancelotti.
I say no to Ancelotti.
Yeah.
But the only reason why I'm saying no to Ancelotti is because, like, at the moment, my team looks like the manager is telling the players to just go out there and run about. Yeah. So I know I need a level of tactical.
That is what he's saying. That's what
I'm saying. My players,
telling them again, man, go do your thing.
That's what I'm saying. Yourself. We don't have Bellinghams. We don't have Vinnies. We don't have Mbappes. We have Brennan Johnsons. Do you know what I mean? We have Richarlisons. So you can't just tell these guys to run about. Like, I need
Ancelotti
out of possession coaching.
Can you imagine a Sancho and a Cole Palmer on Ancelotti? Oh my God!
Imagine telling Pedro Neto to go and express yourself. Don't piss me off today.
Yeah, but imagine telling Cole Palmer and Sancho to go express yourself.
Yeah,
imagine telling Caicedo go play. Imagine saying go tell Caicedo go and play your ball.
Chelsea run.
Tech.
Chelsea and Chelsea.
No. We know what the man is. You know what I'm gonna liken this back to. You know what? Exactly, Chelsea. Now you're all into it. My thing is like we're talking about a proven winner. He's been at Chelsea before. He's won. He's probably arguably their second best Premier League manager after Mourinho, and whatnot. Yeah, maybe Conte, maybe not. Got them to Champions final, didn't win it obviously, but regardless of all that, done the double madnesses. Bro, with the team that they've got, I remember doing this whole thing, about Hansi Flick. I had people in my fan base saying no to Hansi Flick. I remember when we were doing it for Liverpool months as well, saying no to Hansi Flick potentially. Not you in particular, by the way. I just remember the conversations. Who else is there? Remember the whole
Enrique.
I was praying. I was like, yo, if Man U get Hansi Flick, that's bro. Yeah. Be afraid, bro.
Yeah. So it's like even with like who would if you got rid of Arteta, who would you get? Yeah, at that point, but last season, Hansi Flick, they're like, no, he's not been managing for the last 2 years or whatever. He's been at flipping Germany.
They said he fell. Yeah, he failed at Germany.
Yeah, there's not enough of a e-portfolio for his career when he done a flipping like sextuple basically, yeah, and all this kind of stuff. But he's like, but look at the team he had. Are you mad? Look what he's doing now. It's like I wouldn't say, I'm not saying Hansi Flick's Ancelotti these days or whatever, but Ancelotti's one thing is he gets you trophies. What one thing do as Chelsea fans no one love or that we all love? Can't say the same for you, Jay, but trophies, innit? So I'm not saying he's the worst thing in the world, but if he's on a free,
one thing aside from tactics that he'd pull is big name players. You got James Rodriguez playing at Everton, bro.
There's everything.
That's a mad thing.
That first 5 months was mad.
It was mad. It was mad.
Where were they? Were they third in the league or something? Second? Oh my!
I don't know, but like,
Everton.
Until we got
tactical level in the league has gone up quite a lot in the last 5-6 years as well, though.
Yeah, but I would say Ancelotti's way of football.
Yeah, but man can't have Dominic Calvert-Lewin and James Rodriguez and sipping on coffee, thinking it's going to be okay in 2025. You're going to have Kieran McKenna pressing your head off. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like...
Nah, but man had Allen as well. From Napoli.
Bro, you'll be 2-0 down at Goodison Park and the fans will be going, fucking boo! Before he even has a chance to do nothing, bro. Come on.
I don't know who James was.
Let Carlo go manage Brazil or something. Samba, just chill, you know?
Brazil do want it, bro. I think that's most likely where he will end up. Brazil do want it.
I've heard a lot of that, Brazil.
But I think Carlo Ancelotti at Chelsea would be wavy. Flick at Chelsea would be like there are other managers.
Not anymore. He's about to sign a new contract, by the way.
Yeah, so. Not anymore. Maybe I think Nagelsmann at Chelsea would be like there's a whole host of managers that I think. I don't think the manager's the issue personally. I don't
look at the season, your Hooks, and think my manager's the problem. Like,
I don't think Maresca's the problem either.
In hindsight,
whoa. If your manager's not the problem, then what's the problem?
To me, the problem is
it can't be the Hooks. It can't be the players.
Yeah, but
it can't be the players. They can't be the
man,
players.
I
He's
need
got
to
the
hear
best
this,
squad.
man.
He's not because Hooks. He got the best squad. So it can't
Let me
be.
get to my point.
He's not the manager. Then I need to know.
Oh
what
yeah,
it
I
is.
hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. But that's I hear what you're saying. But that's
Hey, you know
that's
what?
the arrogance and ignorance of Chelsea fans, isn't it? Like I'm saying,
that's Chez's truth. So I want to hear that.
Yeah. So
Cheers.
that's
I beg you, land that.
Here's the thing, yeah.
Land
Don't
that,
listen
land
to this guy here because he was giving me apologies in December. You see,
Yeah, I hear that. But
don't listen
I'm
to
saying,
him. He's waffling. He was giving me apologies on his very stream. Don't let me get
looking
up.
at it from looking at it from a like my
mistake. I mean, let's not do.
Can you land your point, please, Chez? Can you land your point, please?
I didn't get
because Hooks is trying to say something, man. You keep talking over him, you know what I'm saying?
You apologize to me on the stream, like, and then you're making it sound like you knew what this was wrong. Why'd you apologize then, once?
Because I was wrong.
Hooks.
With my apology.
I
I wasn't wrong about Chelsea. I was wrong about my apology.
You were wrong twice.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was wrong twice.
I'm human.
I'm human. I make mistakes.
And the same guy who's wrong
Yeah,
twice.
people make
go, oh, look at the squad now.
We said Chez needs to apologize.
Bro,
I think Chez needs to apologize.
I'm accountable.
Listen, I want to land my point. You don't know what I'm about to say.
That's exactly the same.
I'm accountable.
Go on, Chez. Go on.
Yeah, because I'll take some time overall. Yeah, like,
bro, a lot of men are saying percentage of the manager. That's in a row. Boy, go on.
What happened then? Let's give it a percentage of what?
No, yeah, I said percentage between manager.
It's more the manager's fault than players.
No, I'm not.
You said the manager. You said the manager's not to blame. So who's to blame?
No. What I said was, yeah, because you know Hooks is saying. I agree with Hook said, yeah. It's not. I don't look at this season and go, the manager's the main reason why I'm languishing inconsistently in the league, whatnot. Because when you create the second most chance in the league behind Liverpool, I believe, and then you're second bottom for conversion, that's clearly a clinical thing. And it hasn't been happening the whole season why it's even more tapped. It's not like from September until now, we've seen the same poor finishing. It was very clinical up until Christmas. And that's
Crystal Palace game. Till Crystal Palace after that, it's been...
Everyone here was like, I would plan on view, man, every week. We're like, rah, Chelsea's changed. All of us, the same players, by the way. We didn't sign anybody crazy. We didn't sign Mbappe or Desiree Doué, what's his name, Bukola and them, man. We didn't sign any of them. Same players. But for some reason,
we have a better squad than certain.
Let me have my point, man. Let me have my point. For 4 months of the season,
don't be hot, man. You be hot.
5 months of the season, it was going good, and also it dropped off. So that's why I'm looking at the players' mentality more than anything. The quality is still there because I don't believe. If you don't think the quality is there, then no one is punishing you surprised we're 5th in the league or 6th in the league. But I believe the quality. Yeah, I believe the quality is there, but I think the mentality is a big issue. Because, for example, yesterday, if you watch yesterday's game, I don't know, you probably didn't. Which I did on Sunday.
Better things to do.
He literally bought them for the whole game. What happened? One chance they got because my man kicked the ball long. They scored.
Apparently, he was shit in the first half.
You didn't watch the game. No, we weren't shit in the first half.
No, I watched the highlights. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said apparently.
In the first 30 minutes here, I don't know when they scored Ipswich here. I think it might have been the 20-something minute, 30th minute. For the first 30 minutes, we're bopping them. Hit the post twice. Missed like 3 sitters. I kid you not. You can watch back the game from lying. They scored one chance with a guy from Brighton. I forgot his name now. The blonde guy, yeah?
Enciso.
Enciso, yeah. One chance. Their only shot of the game. They score it, heads drop. And then the mentality of the team is so poor where it takes like a whole 90 minutes to get a draw. And again, by the way, for context, it wasn't like we were not playing chances and it was lackluster.
Yeah, but you're playing Ipswich, so of course you're going to create chances.
Are you listening to what I'm saying? Am I defending you? Am I just telling you what happened? So listen.
Yeah, but we don't.
I'm not excusing it. I'm just telling you what's happening.
Respectfully, Ches, you're Chelsea Football Club, innit? You're Chelsea Football Club, bro. You're Chelsea Football Club, bro.
No, you're right. Because you saw when we was 2-0 down. I don't know if you watched that, but
I did. I watched the City game. I watched the City game.
Max, we're gonna have words, by the way, because I know you've got makeup on.
What do you mean, bro?
I knew there was something different about you, brother. This brother's got makeup.
Oh wow, Kaz exposing.
Here's the question, because this is the first time I've seen Ches. This is the first time I've seen Ches since this draw.
I know concealer when I see it.
Ches, I'm over here, by the way. Ches, I'm over here, by the way, brother. I just want to talk to you about Chelsea for a second. I want to talk to you about Chelsea for a second.
You want to talk to him more about me because I'm trying to like my point.
No, I do. Oh, I do.
Yeah, let me hear that, please.
I do. Obviously, my thing is that obviously, my thing is that you seem to be very confident you was finishing in the top 4. Obviously, now the top 5 and whatnot. Now you're still 1 point off. You know, it can be still swings and roundabouts. But that top 5 is not guaranteed. And
when did I ever say it was
Cass, can
guaranteed?
you
Right.
do me a favor quickly? Can you do me a favor? And I want you to just. I'm gonna share this quickly.
Of course. It might look a little bit spooky, but we'll get there.
Yeah, pause that. I'm saying right for that. I just want to show you like a little freeze frame. Can you share this, please? I think it should be up there. Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. Cheers. I want everyone else to see this. I don't want Chess to say anything. I just want everyone else to see this.
Oh, yeah, it's one of those. All right, let me just.
I don't
change
want
the scene quickly.
A fucking word right now. I just want to get.
So what we've got here, we've got Chelsea versus Everton at the Bridge. Everton played nasty low block. Liverpool, Newcastle away, Manchester United, and then Forest. Oh my god!
Right. So,
do you know what's mad about this though? Quickly, do you know that Chelsea could be giving you a guard of honor at Stamford Bridge?
No, they will be giving us a guard of honor at Stamford Bridge. But anyway, yes, Enzo, Caicedo, Lavia, all them. Yeah. I know. Don't worry. We'll get to that. Because we'll get to that one. Because I remember Ches telling me, are you gonna win the league? And I said, are you gonna get top 4? And both the answers were yes. But how about this? I can guarantee I held my side of the bargain. Can you? Because look at these fixtures. I held my side of the bargain, Ches. Now can you hold your side of the bargain?
Ches, before you go, Ches, I just want to add as well.
You know the 2 for me, I'm happy. I don't.
No, hold on. I just want to say. I just want to say. No, hold on, because I just want to make this point because earlier in the season, I remember speaking to you and saying I don't think your squad is as good as you think it is. Yeah. I said to you, Nkunku will be sold at the end. Hold on, I said Nkunku will be sold at the end of the season.
Tell me.
Pardon?
How good is the level I said my squad was?
No, you thought your squad was better than it was.
No, actually, I quote
better than it was, Jay. Be specific.
I'll quote better than Liverpool.
No. He
said, and I remember this, and actually, funny enough, it's actually on the receipts channel. Chelsea have got an A team and a B team.
And the squad itself isn't good.
Bro.
He said his squad's better than mine.
I said we're going to finish 4th, and Liverpool going to finish 3rd.
At one point,
I said Liverpool and Chelsea will battle it out the top 4. That's what I said.
No, I'm talking about mid-season, late to mid-season. Chase.
Yeah, this was not at the beginning. This was like 10, 15 weeks into the season.
Hold on. Ches said he still thinks that his squad is better than mine. It's just that they haven't gelled, and it's the mentality. This was like a month ago, bro. Where Ches, he still said he thinks his squad's better than mine.
This is what I'm trying. Ches, the thing is what's the?
So
if you don't want to blame the manager, Ches, let me ask you this question: how come? Yeah, you've added Neto, you've added Sancho, you've added Tosin, you've added other players and stuff like that to a team where 6th place with Poch wasn't good enough. And when things were going well at the beginning of the season, it was an upward trajectory. But now all of a sudden the squad is unbalanced. It's not this, it's not that. So how come when Poch had an inferior squad to the squad I didn't say those. No, I'm not trying to say you wanted Poch sacked or anything, or didn't want him sacked. I'm just merely saying that the excuses that are being given to Maresca were not lended to Poch. Is it just because he was expert?
It's the context, Jay. The context is Poch had us basically.
You finished 6th.
No. I'm going to tell you the season how it panned out. Beginning of the season, Chelsea were crap up until about March, where we lost, I think, to Sheffield United at home or Burnley at home.
Your last 6-7 games was when he's that old.
And our last 7 games, I think we drew 1 and won 5. And then everyone's confirmational bias of Poch is good enough.
Okay.
It's confirmed of, look what he did. He figured it out.
Ches, what was the team? The team that Poch inherited. Ches, the team that Poch inherited versus the team Maresca inherited. Because Maresca, hold on, because Maresca inherited a 6th place side.
A lot of people don't rate
Maresca inherited a 6th place side. Yeah? What did Poch inherit?
No, but Jay, you guys can hit me with this stick and say I was wrong. But
I'm not hitting you with a stick. I'm asking you the logical question to say what was the level of team that Poch inherited versus the level of team that Maresca inherited.
Let me land this point. Yeah, I agree with that logic. I want to be logical with it. You guys can hit me with this stick and troll me for that. Because you guys were the
I'm
ones
not
telling
trolling you.
me.
I'm asking you a question.
No, I'm saying in like another lens that you guys were telling me Tosin was mid, Sancho was okay, Felix is a flat trap pony, whatever you want to call him. So therefore, what you guys said was more right than me. So this shouldn't surprise you. Then it's more surprising. That makes sense. Because if I rated my squad to good Liverpool, then I should be very annoyed right now. No,
exactly. But that's my point.
But it's the other way around. It's strange to me here. Like, you guys are telling me, oh, like we don't rate your squad. But then before you were telling me, when I was telling you I rate them, you were like, nah, we don't rate them. So you kind of changing.
I predicted you to repeat the same thing as last year and come sixth. That was my original prediction, was for you to finish.
Oh, did you say Chelsea going to be sixth this year?
Originally, yeah. That was my prediction.
Yeah, I'm not being funny, yeah. I'm not being funny, but Poch had a way better window, bro. Like to Maresca, bro. He brought in. I'm not gonna say he's a great signing, but he brought in Robert Sanchez, Caicedo, Lavia, brought in Cole Palmer. Nkunku came in. Technically, he wasn't his signing, but he came in obviously as Pochettino arrived. Nico Jackson, Axel Disaster. He brought in quite a few good players. I can't lie, he brought in a few good ballers. Sancho and some other dusty lot, so it don't really matter.
But Poch, okay, whether people want to say Poch had a better window or not, Maresca had the players that Poch did. It's not like you're right, but
Maresca had those players.
And more players.
It's been more stable. You could say he's been a little bit more stable where Poch had like a season that way, bro. He was looking at 10th and then, bro, at one point. Do you remember? He was 10th at one point, 11th.
But why is it now? Why is it now that why is it now that Chelsea fans want to admit that Poch had that they were sitting in 10th, you know, up until March and the season was a false prophecy? Because when we were talking about Chelsea's squad not being good enough in the summer, all you man said was, look how strong we finished the end of the season. No one wanted to talk about the being in 11th place. The only context you lot wanted to use in measuring what your squad could do was those last 7 games under Poch. But you wanted to eradicate Poch from it and put it all on the players that you finished those last 7 games. And here's another point, Jay. I'll pick you back off that because I'll stop talking after this. I'll stop talking after this. I'll add to Jay's point. If you lot love Maresca so much compared to Poch, yeah, and I'm not saying I'm advocating for Poch because he was a bum at Chelsea, so I'm not going to advocate too hard for what Poch done. But if this league is so trash and the standard of this league is so trash, then I dare Maresca to come 6th in a league that is trash compared to last season that wasn't trash and Poch came 6th. Because if the standard of the league is lower this season and they're both coming 6th, hey, listen. I don't really want to have that conversation.
I'll blame my players more than
That's
interesting.
I'd
rather say Monts here.
Monts, you've been promoted.
I was wrong about the players.
You're club captain now.
But Monts, I'd rather say I was wrong about the mentality changing than say, it's all Enzo Maresca, because I can't look at yesterday's Ipswich game and go, it's on his fault. Yes, he's made mistakes throughout the season. Yes, he's inexperienced. But I don't think he's coached draws and losses against these teams. I just don't. So I have to hold that and say, my players' mentality's dropped off, their form's dropped off, they're bottling it. I'll hold that rather than saying, the manager, he's the issue. People look at the manager as lazy. It's not his fault. Manham can't score from 2 yards against Ipswich at home. We need to get top 4. I'm sorry. Pass missing sitters, Jackson hitting the post from 2 yards out, Chalobah missing a header right next to the goalkeeper and that. I'm not looking at him and going, not that just that game. You could watch our last 3-4 months and look, that game there, Brentford, we should have probably won that game if you watched the game properly in the second half. It's happening too often. So I have to hold that more than manager does.
These players don't pick themselves, you know. I'm just going to let you know.
That's my point. I'm looking at the board and then, man, rather than look at our manager first. That's what I'm saying. He's the last person I'm looking at.
I don't even think you can't say that. But you can't say that because last week,
I want to say.
Last week you was on here saying I'd be happy with Liam Delap. Or the week before, whenever it was, we was on one of these, and you were saying, I'm happy with Liam Delap. So you can't be vexed.
Yeah, I rate Liam Delap.
You can't be vexed at your board because Liam Delap is not a player that takes you. Not a player that takes you anywhere different, bro.
I never said I'm angry at everything they do. I've been consistent on these teams for 2 years.
You don't take you anywhere.
I've been on here for 2+ years, bro. I've been consistent from day one. I rate what they're doing overall, but there's certain things I don't rate what they're doing. For example, We've got no leaders in the team. I've been saying that. I don't
But
want just.
that's by design. That's by design.
Yeah, but that's my point. That's what I'm saying. We're linked to Mark Gahey. Kaz knows that. We're linked to D. Hoyson and Gyokeres. They're good links overall. If you bring in Mark Gahey, Dean, and Liam, I'm not going to complain them because they brought in a leader who's experienced in the Prem. They're bringing two young guys who've got good quality. Look at PSG's team. Everyone's glazing over PSG. The same team, they're like, oh, it's too young, whatnot. They got a good manager in, and now everyone's glazing them. They're doing the same model as Chelsea, by the way. The difference is, though, however, they brought in a manager who's got experience, and they're buying
from the league as well, like the same way you're trying to lap.
We're trying to do the same thing like they are. But the difference is,
you know what? You're not wrong. I've heard that you're linked to Louis Campo at the moment, innit?
We're linked to Louis Campo. I don't think we'll get him, but that's my point, guys. People looking at PSG going, yo, what they're doing is so sick. Chelsea doing the exact same thing. The difference is the execution of it's poor. That's what I'm calling it.
They still have experienced players in their team.
But that's not they've inherited a lot of those players. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but they're still there. That's the point.
By the way, the context, guess who we inherited when Toboli came in? Thiago Silva. Jorginho.
But the issue they got like what Hooks is, you know
there.
what you're gonna say. Yeah. They still got like Dembele's of the world experience, Marquinhos, Kimpembe's just come back from a long ass injury experience, Donnarumma experience. They still got Hakimi. There's a lot of experience around.
You man dashed all the teachers out of the nursery and said, "Yeah, just go."
Don't even Fabian Ruiz.
Let's get rid of these youngsters, man. Oh, sorry, the old heads. Yeah, get rid of them. Never heard me once say that.
I think.
I don't want that.
Really and truly, yeah.
The Poch have leaders in his dressing room.
No, this is why the revisionism of Poch.
We said you were going to say that.
Thanks, yeah. Because if you man watch,
I'm a true liar.
Let me get the armband.
Literally, Kaz was calling me a flip flop, going, "Cheers. Why didn't you give us?"
This is an armband, man. Here's the armband, man. It's the armband, man. Take it.
These lot, this you lot, this year, last year, I'll get the videos up. These lot were telling me, "Just get off the fence. Are you Poch in or out?" I kid you not. I didn't give a Poch in and out the whole time until the very end. I think we drew to Sheffield United or something like that. And it was too late by then to get top 4 because you missed out on top 5 by like 2 points to Spurs, and Aston Villa were like 4 points in front of us. I the whole time was flip flopping on the fence apparently, according to these men. And now all of a sudden, Poch is the new savior. We should never got rid of him. It stinks. The difference between Poch and Maresca is at least Maresca I'm seeing a solid style of play the whole time. It's not
What's the style of play? What's the style of play?
You don't watch Chelsea games. We made it already.
I do watch Chelsea games. I want to know what your style of play is because
you don't watch our games. Why am I
I'm asking you.
That has nothing to do with the
Of
question.
course I watch Chelsea games. I'm asking you. If I'm hate watching you, man, I've got what is your style of play?
Chelsea have a style of play. If you haven't seen
what is your style of play?
Ask your manager. He said it himself at Anfield.
What is your style of play? Why can't you tell me what your style of play is?
What? Me explaining the football is not part of my point at all.
Oh my
it's not part of my point. Me explaining the overlaps and the 1-2s and the triangles doesn't change my point. My point is stop revising Poch, the same brother who was apologizing 4 months ago. I'm sorry.
By the way, I agree with that. The original Poch is thingy, but I think once is asking more about Chelsea fans giving the same kind of energies for certain situations. I think that's fair to say. I think
the exchange of energies is complete, bro. I tell you,
it's completely off. It's completely off.
Completely false. It is.
I don't think it's comparable ones. That's what I'm saying.
I'm telling you right now. I'm not saying
Poch was shit.
I like this. All I'm saying,
it was rubbish. It was rubbish.
All I'm saying is that
the final against you lot.
All I'm saying is the manager was at fault last season. Now the players aren't at fault, and you guys are on track to finish in the same position. Because by the way, you're not. You need to get 9 points.
Who said the players aren't at fault?
Huh?
Who said that?
The players are at fault, right?
Yeah.
Right. My point. So the players weren't at fault last season when you come sick, when you were 10.
No, they was. That's not. No, Mont. To be balanced, last year I would say was more of a split between the manager and the players. This year, in my opinion. I'll put more on the play, so I have to hold that. I'm surprised you man are not going at me more than the manager.
So that's fine. So if the players were, if a bigger fraction of the players were at fault than what was made out in the general consensus of the Chelsea fan base, then why the hell did you have the audacity to say you have a better squad than 1, 2, 3, and 4?
Because we did. Because we're above you, most above all your teams.
Above who?
Hold
Above
on.
who?
Wait.
Other than Liverpool,
Whoa.
who we're
Above
competing
who?
with. Wait, this might just come
You weren't above them. Because
This
you weren't
might
above me. You weren't above them.
Whoa.
Hey,
Whoa.
look,
Whoa.
Mike, answer me this question.
And you
If
weren't
we
above
beat Everton,
Mike.
if we'd beat Everton, would we have gone above Liverpool in the Premier League? Yes or no?
At what stage?
If you beat them,
In
though.
what?
You didn't beat
No,
them.
but
Like,
answer the
why are we
is
doing
that not
Marvel? What
competing,
if?
yes or no? Is
Why are we
that not
doing Marvel?
competing?
Why are we doing Marvel? What
No, but
ifs?
Hooks, don't ignore the orange.
Word.
Let's do
Is that not
absolute.
competing?
Right.
That's
Let's do absolutes.
Hey, Hooks, I'm taking that.
But
for
regardless,
personal
Hooks,
life, bro.
yeah, second place, 2 points behind first is competing, no? Or is it not?
Hey,
But
I
what
can't
are
lie,
you-
Chess.
what
That
are
was
you-
diabolical.
What are you?
But
Wait,
Chez,
when,
I'm talking about last season before the season started, bro. If you,
when
Chez,
even was that?
Chez, I'm talking about the season before the season started. Yeah, as I said, you said you blamed you personally was more on the players and the manager, like right, not just Poch being the worst guy ever.
Well, you
Yeah.
won last year.
Yeah. You said it
Last
was.
year I was more even. I was like the injuries.
Yeah.
I
So
said,
if it's yes, I'm saying if it was an even split, then how
how
come?
injuries, Poch's poor management, mentality, it was the same issues.
Yeah,
but
there was
this year, I think
a bag of things.
the manager's done a good job overall. I don't think he's done a bad job, in my opinion.
I'm not saying
That's
sack
it.
Maresca because I'm not saying sack Maresca.
I'm saying it.
I'm not saying sack Maresca.
I don't know.
that's
I'm saying Palmer was doing the carry job, and then that kind of fizzled out.
like there's a lot of different factors, anyways, that should have a manager sacked. I think for me, anyways, I think Maresca should be sacked in it. I think your squad is much better than Forest's. I think your team actually could be. You should be on par with in terms of points of Arsenal, considering the injuries that they've also suffered. I know you've had injuries, but I think your attack's been. Do you know what it is? Your attack's been blunt without Saka in it and Havertz for a while, where their attacks had majority bar Jackson, which is the only thing I would say. There should have been something. So maybe I'm being a bit disingenuous.
They will say that he's not.
Maybe I've been a little bit disingenuous on that part, but it's just like
a little bit.
I'm not gonna gaslight it too much, but you should definitely be on par with second place, in my opinion. At the moment.
What do you mean second place?
Yeah.
Whoa,
He should be
be
there.
Because
I think Arsenal have gone through something completely different to what most men have at the moment.
As being objective, looking at the table, Chelsea being second in the league in December to now being 3 points behind Forest in sixth place stinks. We should be having a bad run. We should be having a bad run, but still be where at least like in between Forest and Arsenal. Somewhere
No, you should be above me.
It's a bit different.
You haven't beaten a team in the top 10 since December the 14th, bro.
Yeah, it's a bit different. It's a bit
We're in
difficult.
April. We're in the middle of April.
Because
we're more than just underperforming. We're slumping out. That's my point.
Yeah, I'm gonna move.
And this is what I mean. Your players and your squad can't be that good. I don't care. Sorry, Cass, go on. I don't care.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I'm gonna second this.
I think it's mentality. Innit? If you would have class mentality,
this transcends.
But sometimes,
I would agree with you there.
I'm not gonna lie here, but mentality is a bit of a cop out sometimes, though, man. Sometimes some players.
It's been 4 months. It's not mentality. It's been 4 months.
Sometimes, you know, every time we lose, yeah, and this is for me, this is for a lot of people. We always go directly towards the board, and that's it. Sometimes the players are just shit. And that's what it is. Like, really and truly, it don't matter.
You have a mixture of good and shit players, bro. You haven't, like, literally, it's like what Kaz said, balance is a very important word. You have a mixture of players who, for me, you have some good players, some very good players, and then you've got also absolute utter letdowns that are showing you that they're not good enough week in, week out. Yet you want to portray to the rest of the rival fans that you man are good enough or better than certain teams or certain squads when you're not. You are not. You can't look at Pedro Neto, who has 2 or 3 goals in all this time, and tell me he's good enough. You cannot sit here and tell me that even your talisman, who was compared to the best of the best, called the best player in Europe, has stagnated because teams are setting up to stop him. And guess what? You can't do anything about it. Your talisman, who was supposed to be your talisman last season, Nkunku, has been made to be one of the worst signings in Premier League in the recent Premier League history. Argue with your auntie. And then you've got guys like Sancho. Even though Sancho is my guy, he hasn't pulled up enough trees in the second half of the season. You're looking at who's the other one that you have? Nico Jackson, who I do rate Nico Jackson. He goes into your crop of your good players. Hold on. He goes into your crop of good players, but you still want, like, Nico Jackson has been getting the plaudits he got for the first half of the season, and you still cry out for a striker, even though I know you personally wanted one at the start of the season. Like your midfield is the only thing that's even holding you.
I think
your midfield is the only one that's holding you kind of together, with obviously Caicedo and Enzo having a good season, Lavia not being fit enough. But then you look at your back line, and as I said, your back line is dross as well. It's dross. Everyone's getting over with shit. Tosin is your first in line when someone gets injured. Fofana doesn't play, and okay. Your only good players are literally Reece James, and Kukurea are your only consistent players.
Come on, explain to the people why we were second in the league then.
Because again, because it was
because what? Because what?
Because
all this waffle.
Look at Nottingham Forest. Look at Nottingham Forest. Look at Nottingham Forest. Look at Nottingham Forest.
These 4 headlocks.
Listen, look at Nottingham Forest.
No, you don't. You don't have. No, you don't have to explain anything once.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Look, hear what you just said.
No. What does Chelsea being second in December have to do with anything?
What does that have to do with game week 32?
Yeah, what does that have to do with game week 32?
What does that have to do with game week 32?
Listen,
what does that have to do with game week 32?
No. I never said it equals where we are now. If Monty's saying what he's saying, why did Chelsea have such a big gap to where we're so bad right now? We're still competing for top 4. How is that possible?
No,
you're not getting top 4, bro. I'll be honest.
Hear me out now, Chess. Hear me out. What I'm saying is,
I need more to ask the question.
No, I cannot. Chess, I cannot. The reason you guys were the reason you guys were second is because you were performing well as a team, and everything can click. Things can click, and
wait, Monts. This is a nice one. You might like this one. Chelsea were second in December because the quality of the Premier League is shit this season.
Oh yeah, shit, man. Is that how it feels to be on the other side of that? Is that how it feels to be on the other side of that?
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Wait, is that how you man feel when you? Yeah. It's a nice one, isn't it? It's a nice one, but it's not a nice shit. That's why you man are there.
Yeah.
How about this? As I said, Ancelotti had Everton.
That was a rubbish answer, by the way.
Ancelotti had Everton.
Nah, we laughed.
We've seen Nottingham Forest have been third. And do you know what it is? Nottingham Forest stayed there. So they showed that it wasn't a false profit thing.
Hey, Forest going to finish third or fourth? Are they going to finish top 4 this season?
We don't know yet.
Oh, so you don't know. Okay, fair enough.
We don't know yet. And I'm not even saying that you lot won't finish in the Champions League. No, Ches. I'm not saying I'm not saying you won't finish in the Champions League because it's top 5.
Yeah, that's what I thought. After all this chat.
But Ches, I don't think you finish top 5. By the way, I don't think you do.
You just said, oh, I don't think you won't. I don't think you will.
No. I said I'm not. Sorry, my bad. I said I'm not saying you won't, but I don't think you will. My opinion. If you ask me, I think Chelsea.
What does that even mean? What does that mean?
I've looked at your fixtures.
It means
you haven't beaten a top team. You haven't beaten a team, Ches. You haven't beaten a team in the top 14 since December the 14th.
Okay,
you now have teams in the top 14 for the last 5 out of your 6 games. You're playing teams in the top 14. You haven't beat a single one.
So, make a statement. Are we not going to win our next 4 games?
I don't think you finish in the top 5. I don't think.
Fair enough. That's what I wanted to hear. That's fine.
No, but okay. Wait. No, but don't do that. What he's saying is it's not impossible for Chelsea to get Champions League football. But he's saying that in his opinion, he doesn't think that you will. They're 2 very different things.
I don't know why that's so hard.
I know they can coexist. No, Hooks. Logically speaking, what he's saying and what can happen can coexist. His beliefs in the team, therefore, can't make sense. He's also saying poor squad. He's saying Caicedo's holding it down. He's saying the attack's poor. He's saying the defense is mid, which I disagree with, by the way.
No, but he's not saying that.
The defense is the 4th best in the league, by the way. Chelsea have 1 less goal conceded than the Forest, Newcastle.
I said, Georgia, you're attacking consistent.
But the reality is showing you that your attack is whack. Like,
no, I like the attack's whack. The defense isn't that.
The reality is
you literally just told me. You gave us the stat of big chances created, and then about your goals, and your conversion.
I said the defense, not the attack. I said the attack's been poor. Not the defense.
Okay, wait. Chelsea fans in the chat. Colwill and Sanchez. How do you feel?
Months. Look at the goals.
How do you feel?
What do you mean? I agree in the upgrading.
How do you feel?
You're arguing enough for the point. I never once said we can't upgrade our defense. I just said it's not as bad as people make out. 2 things can be true.
You're
Your
know, I
defense
think
is
argue
your
down on
defense.
But
Your
when,
defense
but
is
when I call
horrible,
your
man.
defense, when I say you need at least 3 new defenders, don't argue me down because that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
Your
Your centre back duo partnerships, whoever you put there is arse. You got great fullbacks in my opinion. You got really good fullbacks. You need another left back, obviously, but because I don't know what's going on with Vega. Don't know why he even left. To be fair, I thought he's quite good. But your centre back partnership plus your Bermuda triangle of defense is crap. Goalkeeper, 2 centre backs. Coble he's not looking good at the moment. It's like he's
in a bad way. He's in a bad way right now.
He could be just in a down period, but at the same time, it's like he's better at everything rather than defending. Maybe it's age. He's playing Dross at the moment. Fofana was your best centre back. He got injured, which you should have kind of predicted anyways.
Yeah.
It was good when you had Fofana.
If Fofana's your best centre back,
Yeah.
Fight, bro. No,
and you know who I'm gonna blame? You're not gonna blame. I'm gonna blame. You're not gonna blame for this. I'm gonna blame Don. This is Don's fault. He gaslighted everything into why Fofana's still. He said Fofana's better than Kanai.
Hey, CFC Reaper, I don't do many streams, but I can't be bothered. I'm not
Yeah,
the old chest.
do you know what I mean?
I can't be asked to fight people on
this
stream.
though.
It's long. It's actually long.
But what I will say, I'm gonna
He's
like
on agendas. I gave you facts.
I'm gonna ask the panel, and I'm gonna ask.
You gave me an apology 3 months ago. I'm not even hearing anything you're saying.
By the way, anyways, in the comments, and on this
Before
panel,
she made top 4, the same months because you know what? Actually, you found a way. I'm not here.
Yeah.
In the comments and now, I need to know. I need an answer. Would you? Let me ask this: Would you sack Maresca? Yes or no? I'll start. Go on, everyone. I'm talking about everyone getting involved.
No,
You wouldn't sack him.
I wouldn't sack him because
Let me do.
You know why I wouldn't sack him? Because there's no point sacking him if you're gonna keep the same like structure above him. There's no point. Whoever you bring in is just gonna be the same shit. So you need to sort that out first before you start worrying about which manager you're gonna bring in and all that good stuff.
Cool. There's a poll that just went up. I'm not gonna lie, I'm sacking him.
But why though, Kaz?
I'm gonna liken this the difference between Amorim and Ange because they might. That's why it's got question marks, same fate, because we do need to have questions about Amorim right now. Like it's warranted. But the only difference is, which I'm gonna say between Ange and Maresca is they already have settled players that's already in the team that's good enough to get you from A to B, in my opinion. Yeah.
Who do you rate in our defense or attack then?
So my whole thing is with you lot, you have Caicedo available, you have Enzo available, who you bought for big money, by the way, Cole Palmer. You still got Dewsbury.
Who do you rate? Yeah.
Oh, out of your players, I still like Dewsbury. I like a lot of your players, bro, and you can't say I haven't.
You're disagreeing with Monts now, by the way, and who?
Yeah. So
the quality is poor.
I think you've literally bought a championship manager who's going on a whip. It's like bringing back. You know what it reminds me? This reminds me of Villas Boas, bro. This is what I'm going to call it towards. That's exactly what it is. And you got mid. I would sack him because it's like, okay, I'm going to give you this and I'll tell you this for free. When or if Man United go and get A, B, C, D, E, F, G player, in the summer, if I'm seeing 7th or 6th place, and it looks as weak as your second half of the season, because I expect Man United to have a great 10 first games or something, It's just the way of football and the way things go. But I expect there to be some sort of drop-off at one point as well. I expect it, But if I'm seeing 6th or 7th, get out. It's done. Stop it.
Oh,
I don't want it. Yeah. If I've got a settled squad or brand new players that I like or that people rate or it looks good, you've had your back in, get out. Do you get it? So my whole thing with Maresca is you've got Jadon Sancho, who's meant to be amazing, by the way. That hasn't for that, and I still think there's a little something there at least. I actually think Jackson's good, and I think he'd be good off the left-hand side, I do believe he does need a striker regardless. I do like a lot of your players. Your defenders, Coble's meant to be a lot better than he is. Tosin actually had a good season with Fulham. He should be a lot better than he is. I think Chalobah's a good squad player, don't get me wrong. He should have stayed where he was. Unfortunately, I still think even with all your injuries right now, I still believe you are better than what's above you right now. I still think you're better than City this year. I would sack him.
The reason why I understand your point, Max isn't giving this point, but we've all disagreed. This is why when once it's gone this monologue talking about my players, I'm not trying to hear it. I don't think the defense, as bad as the quality has been individually of them, they're not that bad. Look at the numbers. We've got like the 4th best defense. A lot of you just don't watch Chelsea. It is what it is. I don't really care, really.
I
So,
watch it, but you know what it is? I've
At
gone from
least
watching.
you're being balanced because I don't think the squad is as bad as it is quality wise. I believe I'm not using mentality as a cop out, but in my opinion, Kaz, I just think the team was dropped off because the pressure, title race, and they've just completely lost their form. They can't pick
But
up. And
you know the title race was lost, but the title race was lost ages ago.
It was lost. And guess what, Kaz? But the reason why they can't pick it up is because of the lack of leaders, which we've already established, and the age and the quality of the profile, certain profiles in the team.
A lot's got to be blamed, but a league that's technically dead, I think Chelsea should be much better. And I think Maresca, I don't get me wrong. I just think he should have a better man. I personally don't think he's the guy in it.
No, so with Chelsea, look at their squad,
I'm gonna ask you a question. I don't look at Chelsea, as a team that don't win trophies. I don't look at them as bums like that in total, Do I believe Maresca's the one to bring them to the promised land? I'm going to be honest. Overall, even if it's just a year's base of work, and it's a bit too premature to say, do I believe he's got that something to bring them from A to B? Have I seen enough that things like, you know what? I think this guy can do something if he had a striker, if he had a goalkeeper, if he had a better defense.
Talking about this season, though, not talking about
the only thing I've got off of him is the first 5 months, which is a bit difficult, which is kind of, again, I will say is disingenuous from me, is that at least from the first 4 or 5 months, there was something there that was clicking. But the other part is, fuck me, it's actually that bad. You've collected like 15 points in like 60 out of 60 or some shit like that. Maybe even less, 14, I think. It's just, I don't know. And I think it's too much of a big risk. I feel like if you have the affordability to get rid of him, to bring in someone like Ancelotti or something like that, because I think you can bring in a caliber of manager.
Because would you say the team?
I would.
To get back on Monte's point here, do you think the team's the 4th best in the league, squad-wise? But based on what you're saying.
Yeah. I think you're one of the better squads in the league, 100%.
What I'm saying, it's not as mad. It's not coming from me.
But do you know why
I'm putting on the manager still.
I'm not saying your opinion's bad or good, Kaz. I'm just saying it's not just me coming from a Chelsea fan.
Do you know why it's not
the
a
reason
mentality?
why the Chelsea fan base is melting down is because in the same breath they'll say is a poor quality squad, but in the same breath they'll say we must get top 4. Why is Maresca being a bum?
Do you know
That's what Monty's kind of saying. It's confusing me. He's saying we're rubbish.
That's not what I said. I didn't say you must get top 4. I didn't say that.
No, I'm saying you don't rate our squad. You broke it down. It's the only reason
I didn't say I don't. No. I said you overrate your squad. So I picked out the whole.
I didn't overrate. I said we finished 4th.
You do overrate your squad. You said you got a better squad
than
Liverpool.
You finished 4th.
How? You said your squad is better than Liverpool's.
I said we'll compete with you for 3rd and 4th.
Coming 6th.
Overall,
and I don't believe that. I believe you're finishing 6th.
You know
your squad is overrated. My point has never changed, but your squad is overrated.
Overrated? Who's overrating it to be in top? I never said top 2.
But again, you said that your squad is better than Liverpool.
You know what, Mons? Can I kind of try to reverse that a little bit? Yeah, technically, could they have a better squad? Like overall, they could have a better squad, but when it does come to that individual quality, when you do pair them up against someone, it just outweighs.
Sorry, best squad than who? Sorry.
So basically, hear me out. So individually, if you just talk on individuals, Chelsea might win the better squad battle. But the difference is
no chance.
No, but I'm just saying. But the difference is when you're putting up when you've got a team that's
no chance.
No chance. Who rates Kwanzaa and Endo? Who does?
Kwanzaa is better than Tosin. Kwanzaa's still better than Tosin.
No,
he's crap, but he's better than Tosin.
Relax. Hear me out, when I say this, even if they have a better squad on paper, basically individually, but when it actually comes to rating, when it comes to rating the individual players, like let's say when you put, let me finish. When you put Salah, Van Dijk, and everything, that outweighs whatever better squad you've already got because individually as a team, it's just 10 times better than when you put up against Palmer.
Our fan base we don't even rate. Our fan base doesn't even rate. Our fan base doesn't even, Our fan base doesn't even rate Luis Diaz like that. He's better than every winger they have.
So listen.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. We don't even rate Diaz like that.
What's his goals and assists? Let's just go through this.
11 goals, 5 assists. Hold on, 11 goals and 5 assists.
No, hold on. Because the thing is like I just want to say on this.
Yeah, Diaz is dead. Know your wingers.
Because Chelsea.
Name me. Hold on, Jay. Hold your point for 1 second. How many goals? How many goals do your wingers have put together? How many goals? Hold on. How many goals do your wingers have put together?
Does Diaz move the
needle? Diaz is much better than your left wingers.
He's a proper winger.
Better than your wingers. What are we doing?
Bro, come on, bro.
Diaz
He's
is
much
better
better than your left
Sancho.
wing. Diaz is much
He is.
better than Neto on the
And
left
we
wing.
don't even
one
rate
page
Diaz like
shot.
that.
Sancho on the left wing.
I can't
Man,
lie.
I don't even rate Diaz like that, but he's much better than
He's
you.
much better.
Why
This is the
people
point, Ches. The point is that Liverpool have someone like Curtis Jones. Chelsea have Dewsbury Hall. Jones is exponentially better than Dewsbury Hall. So much better. Yeah? You look at the first team, Cucurella.
How about this? He's better than Enzo Fernandez.
Cucurella, left back, sure. But if you look at the rest of the defense, Liverpool's team is much better. Yeah, much better. Goalie, much better. Yeah, midfield three. Caicedo, yeah, Caicedo, Palmer, cool. But when you look at Caicedo, Palmer, but then you look at all the rest of Liverpool's players, and then
you even
all
go grab
the rest of the players.
But that's the thing.
You look at the attackers. Liverpool's attackers are better. It's like I don't see where Chelsea fans would say your squad's is good because in every position, bar left back and DM, yeah. Because if you say Palmer right wing, he's not as good as Salah. So in almost every position in the 11, Liverpool are better, bar two positions.
You
look at the backups, and Liverpool's backups are better than your backups. So what?
Of course, our backups are better than their
about
backups.
in September. You know, we had the keys analogy with us when we were laughing, and you guys all laughing, showing tea. Who we were laughing at? Ding, Monsters team. Do you know why? Because they were failing in the season. They were dropping off. Not the same with Chelsea. I agree.
He was failing.
Liverpool.
We were top.
No. Liverpool last
top.
season. Months. You get angry for no reason. Hear what I'm saying?
What
I'm
are we
saying
talking
Liverpool
about?
last season when you lost to Atlanta, we're all laughing at you, right? When you dropped off in the league, we all laughed at you. The reason why we laughed
When I dropped off in game week 33.
The reason why there was Liverpool and Chelsea debate, it's not come from me, aggregators online, content creators like yourself, people talking about it, not agreeing or disagreeing, just talking about it, is because you were dropping off, Chelsea were doing better. And in the start of this season,
you finished sixth when we
start
finished
of
first.
this season was a confirmed bias because Chelsea were doing really good and so were Liverpool. So both competing.
No. We were always top. You have never gone above us. So
I never said we were above you. Did I say that once? I said we're competing.
Oh my days, bro.
That's what
What was you?
Chess, stop doing revisionism. It was from game week 6 or 7. It was from game week. It was between game week 6 or 7 to game week 18. Those first 6 games, you weren't competing for shit. You lost to City in your first game.
I never said the whole time. I'm saying,
you're giving me a 12 game, bro. You're giving me a 12 game portfolio. A 1/3 of a season is what you're dying on, bro.
I'm not saying that the overall point was right or wrong from anybody. I'm saying at that time we were talking about it because Liverpool were first and Chelsea was second, and people rated our transfer window. People didn't rate Liverpool's transfer window; they couldn't sign anybody. So there's conversations. That's where we come in because we started talking about it.
Right.
So at the time,
why can't you just say your squad?
Yeah,
why are we taking this conversation out of context? In that context,
why can't you just hold the L?
Liverpool squad.
Why can't you just hold the L?
Hold the L about what?
You said numerous times across the season. You said numerous times across the season that your squad is better than Liverpool's, but since the last time you lost to Ipswich, you've only won 4 games, and that was against 16th place, 17th place, 19th place, and 20th place in the league.
Yeah, there's a long way to go, man.
Yeah,
it doesn't add up.
Long way to go. Anyways,
it's not end of the season,
It doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up.
Hold on, Cass. Hold on. It don't add up. It doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up.
Monto's validation was Premier I'll give you the validation you want. Well done.
It's not validation.
It doesn't add up, bro.
It's a fact.
Monto's validation from the Premier League. Monts, well done. You won the Premier League. Good job. Yeah. Good job.
By the way, 60% of people said Maresca should be sacked. So there's a big portion that said no, but that could be right. That could be rivals saying keep him. But anyways, by the way, we're not even on 200 likes. I know lots of you just listened to that, and I know a lot of you said, I can't be asked. Please be asked and smash the like button. Please be asked on your phones, tablets, TVs. Get your remote. I know that remote looks so far away right now, but trust me, it's not that far. Yeah. Please smash the likes. Violence today. So talking on the way we spoke on Amorim, Maresca and all that, and Chelsea. Should Ange and Amorim also probably share a similar fate potentially by the end of the season? Actually, how about this? I think Ange's last game is when they lose this week against Frankfurt. I think he'll be gone.
Yes, so do I.
But then there's a lot of Amorim questions. I watched Saeed's video, yeah, as well. So let's play both teams since both are pretty much right next to each other. As much as I like to back Amorim and say give him the players and everything, do I really believe we're that bad? Are we this bad? Like you are massively underperforming. You can't pick an 11. Points. You ain't even hit both teams. Ain't hit 40 points. It's like I know he wants to implement his style, but at the same time, be clued up. Like you have to. Like if you come. The thing is for me, if you don't beat Lyon, you know what this family. You know where it's gonna go back to.
I think the question for you as a Manchester United fan, yeah, because obviously you're entitled to believe what you want to believe in it, but I think the question you have to ask yourself is, will Manchester United invest adequately enough in the squad in the summer for him to have the players that can play to his play style? Because if not, then not being funny, like you might as well look at like just get rid of him and bring in like an Allardyce, someone that can steady the ship. And
well, I swear you meant to build a new stadium, bro. So it's not even
just 2 seconds, Aaron. I know you got some sort of ADHD or something, but brother, calm down. You don't have to be here. You don't have to. But we all like you, innit? But just calm down, innit? But go on, sorry.
I just think that's what my thing is. Like my thing is, yeah, my thing will always be, yeah, him coming in. During the season, the best thing for him to do was not to immediately implement his style and be mad stubborn with it. Like, yeah, you can add.
Oh no, he was brought in to implement his style. His thing was his pick. He got picked based off data according to what these players would suit.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you have to acknowledge that you just don't have the players to do what you need to do, and you're at Manchester United. Like, if you're at a West Ham or an Everton or a Palace, it's fine. You're at Manchester United. For Manchester United to be going into game week 33 and you haven't hit 40 points yet, that is mad.
It's kind of in a sense, it's a mad sackable offense, regardless. The thing is, I know United's situation a bit different to what your situation is, Jay. You've already got a technically established side. It's more your side is way more balanced than what Man United can provide all over the pitch. The only thing you haven't had is your injuries at the back of your back line is being crap.
But guys, my thing on that is Ten Hag had a lot of injuries last year, and no one cared.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And no one cared. So my thing is injuries. Like, I think I've got Stockholm syndrome. You know, like post-traumatic stress disorder. Because when I look at the league, it's almost like there's a disassociation. I'm looking at the position that I'm in, and I'm like, my brain is not processing it because it's like, I'll be honest, it's outrageous.
That's why no one cares. Liverpool's in the league, innit? No one cares.
No, but it's outrageous, and I think the thing with United, the one thing that Spurs have got versus the other teams around Spurs is Spurs still have their trump card of sacking the manager and trusting that everything's going to improve because the manager's kind of out of his depth. That's what Spurs have. United have already played their trump card of sacking the manager, and things got worse. Yeah. So for me, that's what Spurs have got. Spurs can look at it this summer. They can say, hey, maybe they can call Xavi, be like, Xavi, come save us. Do you know what I mean? Like, for me, that's the, like, me and my team, sometimes we have synergy. So I'm sending the positive vibe.
Yeah,
guys,
Tottenham new manager bounce is crazy.
Go interview Xavi. Let's get Xavi into this job at the end of the season if we sack Ange. There you go, positive vibes. But United,
Xavi go in Tottenham.
Xavi, yeah.
Let him believe, man. It's all right. It's all right.
How long has it been since you won?
I'm sorry. Do you guys think Xavi wouldn't come to Tottenham?
That's a good joke, man.
Xavi would definitely come to Tottenham. What are you talking about, guys?
Definitely.
Maybe if Levy kisses his feet, then maybe, yeah.
Beyonce. But
hold on, you guys. This is the thing, like, guys, critical thinking, yeah. Okay, let's look at it like this, right?
When Jay gets the pen out,
hold on. Let me just land the point.
When Jay gets the pen out, give him 10 minutes.
No, hold on. No. I'm just saying, Xavi, listen, don't worry about it. I was actually doing work. Yeah, you know what you're always doing whenever Chelsea lose, that kind of work. So I'm just saying, right? You look at Xavi, Spain, Atletico Madrid, he ain't
That's-
going there.
Jay,
Barcelona,
why you
he's
throw
already
shots at
been
my
there.
club?
Bro,
Leave
can I
that-
make
get
my
your
point, bro?
club
Hold
out
on.
of
Considering
my
you were bitching about
That
people
was
cutting you
rude.
off, how are you cutting me off?
Jay,
when
don't
you're
bypass
crying
that.
about people cutting you off a
Hey,
second
Jay,
ago?
that's who you
Jay,
get
don't
paid 12
bypass that. Jay, don't bypass
I
that. That
didn't
was
even hear
fucking
him.
rude.
I didn't even hear him.
That was fucking rude.
I didn't
Yeah,
even
so
hear him. I didn't
That's
even hear him.
what-
Just
that's what I wanna
chit,
remind
chit,
him.
chit, chit in the background. I don't even care, to be honest. So I'm moving on. So my point about Xavi is he's not going back to Spain at the moment. Bro, are you gonna keep ad-libbing or what? Like, what the fuck?
Hey,
I'm freezing him even up.
Hey, leave him back.
Man said, you know the same thing you usually do when Chelsea lose? Man of the fucking match.
That's all I'm trying to say here, right? Listen, very basic. You know what? You know what? The point doesn't even matter anymore. I've lost my
Jay,
momentum.
you know what it is,
The point doesn't matter
Jay,
anymore.
my bad. I'll let you go, Jay,
Guys,
my bad.
back to you.
You know,
Back
you know
to
what it is, Jay. You know what it
Kaz.
is, Jay. You said a man in a match line. It's like
Yeah, it doesn't really matter what I say after
It doesn't
that.
matter what you say.
It
No,
don't
it's
matter
not
what
matter. Yeah, it don't
It
matter.
don't matter, Jay. It don't even matter.
You won. You already won the battle. Well done. Well played. You know what? Where's the award? You know what? Here's a cup.
Benedict top bins. Benedict top bins.
Like what? Green timed it.
Green time. Green time.
Gold plus.
plus. Top bins. You whipped that.
Oh man, that's funny,
That's
man.
rude, man.
Sorry, man. Sorry, man. But yeah,
Hey, Jay, is she gone?
no.
Oh.
Ches, you're thinking of a comeback that you can't think of right now, innit?
No, Mum's laughing. I'm actually not. I don't care.
Anyways,
I want to hear his point.
yeah.
No, I mean,
Regardless,
anyway, my
go
point
back.
is we can get Xavi. We can get Xavi Hernandez. I know we can get him. I know we can get him. Like,
Would
if he
would
doesn't
be a
come to,
target,
if not, okay, if Xavi, if not Tottenham, then where is his next job?
Man United.
There you go. You see what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Where's his next job?
You're not
You guys in the comments,
Jay.
yeah? If he's not going to Tottenham, where's Xavi's next job going to be? Go on, tell me. Give me 2 viable options for his next job.
Dortmund.
You tell me he's going to go Dortmund over Spurs? Nonsense.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, he will.
Nonsense. Nonsense.
100%.
Wait, what was
He
the
ain't
last time you
going
had
Dortmund. Did Dortmund even have the money to pay his wages properly?
Probably, yeah.
No. Come on, guys. Be serious now. Give me viable options here. Give me viable options.
You know
Otherwise,
what
you
is
have to-
Jay? You know what is Jay? Yeah. The difference is why I think managers like Man United can attract better managers than Tottenham always. Yeah, is because what's at stake? If you're the manager that's known to revive Man United, you're going down as GOAT status instantaneously. You're everywhere. Your portfolio is blown up. Yeah, you're a legend.
It's a lie, bro. It's a lie.
The thing is, don't get me wrong. We kill 95% of careers in it. Yeah.
See, we don't. Though.
But you know, no, but hear me out. Yeah. But you do though. The thing is,
we don't. People
the thing
think
is,
we kill.
you
We
do,
don't
you
kill
do.
No,
careers.
you do.
I'm
The thing
seeing Conte thriving at Napoli.
No, wait.
Thriving at Forest.
No, but wait.
You're
Hear me
also
out.
gonna tell me that we're killing their careers.
Hear me out. Yeah. Hear me out. Yeah. The thing is, that's probably for Man United right now. That's probably the thing that has managers really interested in it. The thing is with Spurs is that you have to deal with Levy. Also, yeah, you've made people fall into thinking that Conte was a bum. Jose Mourinho was absolutely done out and finished, and you've sacked him in before a final, which is mad in itself. Even Nuno leaving, it's like you drown, and there's nothing really to show for it. Like you don't even get a portfolio out of it. That's the thing. It's like and you know it's a club that is not known for even trophies and stuff, or it's fans or whatever. Now, I'm not being rude.
No, I don't think you're being rude. But
I don't see how Xavi goes. I don't think he comes to the Prem. Period. Anyways, yeah.
Bro,
I feel like he's very specific, like in what he wants personally as a character. I could be totally wrong.
No, I disagree, bro.
Where I see more of a Glasner going to Spurs, a Thomas Frank, maybe. I don't think even he will turn it down. I see maybe even
Thomas Frank turn us down. Oh my.
Because he's so like, bro. I'm just being.
Don't
I'm
take the piss, bro.
I think that some managers are like Thomas Frank are very specific. I'm not lying. I'm not trying to throw shade.
With all due respect,
and all due respect, stop saying Newcastle, yeah, because Eddie Howe's doing a mad job. Like,
I didn't say.
I'm talking about the comments.
Eddie Howe.
Talk about the comments. Eddie Howe's not going nowhere,
Yeah,
bro.
I don't think we could get Eddie Howe.
So anyways, it's like I just don't see. I don't know who your next manager is, but I don't think it'll be a high profile. I think your days with high profile managers are done.
My thing is that, like, and I get where people people have this thing where, like, obviously we're a bit of a laughing stock sometimes. You know, you guys will laugh, Spurs, Spursy.
You got a good squad though.
I get it. I get it. Figure of fun. You know, butt of the jokes. You know, like never the belle of the ball. I hear it. However, yeah, in modern football, I've seen Ancelotti at Everton. Yeah, I've seen Conte at Spurs. After he rejected us in the summer, we circled back. He came in 2 months later and still got us top 4. You guys think that we can't attract top managers? We got Villas-Boas when he lost a little bit of shine after being at Chelsea. We can bring in good managers. You guys say Xavi won't come to Tottenham. If he wants to manage in the Premier League next season, he's coming to Tottenham. That's my point. That's my point. Because there's no other managerial openings. Yeah. So if he wants to manage next, you want to go to AC Milan, Xavi? Sure, go.
You like Gareth Southgate? Take Southgate.
I don't mind Southgate, but not for Tottenham. Like
why
just
not?
Like chill vibes international, not for like week to week watching him play for my team. That's the thing, yeah. You guys don't think Tottenham are an attractive club, yeah? I think it's an attractive status. I swear, yeah. What's it? The Vinay, who just joined, who
is that?
He's Arsenal's ex-CEO, who I'm attributing with all the success of Arsenal's transformation, of course. Just like you did with Blanc in the summer, and I saw he's resigned recently.
No, he's gone. He's not going to resign. He's just gone to a different role. It's just that the plan was always to go there for about 6 months and then step down and go to another role. That was always.
And the thing is like people are like, oh. Like this guy, bro, listen, Conte, we turned down Enrique.
He's got a good squad, man.
We turned down Enrique for Ange, which with the benefit of hindsight is kind of stupid, but we turned down Enrique.
Don't worry, so did Chelsea.
And we said no to Luis Enrique.
So did Chelsea.
He's now manager at PSG. So how are you guys telling me that we could have gone from Conte to Luis Enrique, yeah, but we don't have Paul? Of course we have Paul. Yeah, argue with yourself because we have Paul.
Well, we'll see where it goes. But Ange is definitely getting. Are you in agreement? Ange, if he loses against Frankfurt, it's over.
Yes,
that's why he'll win, isn't it?
Yeah, it's over, man. I don't think they're gonna win, but I think it's over. Who's your plug? Smoking that max decibel loud.
This is what I'm saying. They accuse me of being delusional rather than offer solid rebuttals as to why I'm wrong. Which is fine. Spurs are the butt of the jokes. It's funnier to be disingenuous than it is to deal with the matter at hand. And I get it. I hear it. I appreciate it. Schadenfreude sells. People love misery. Yeah.
What we saying for Arsenal and Gyokeres? It's not a joke no more. It's not a joke no more. Like, I'm being dead serious. It's not a joke no more.
For real? What? They're actually gonna get Gyokeres, yeah.
I don't know if they're going to get him, but more agent talks, confirmed agent talks. I heard Chelsea's also spoke to his agent as well. That was the whole thing of being in London. I saw a report on it. It doesn't mean it's true, but I'm going to guess he's going to have some. I'm going to guess he's going to have some suitors, and Chelsea's already been linked to him numerous times. No, man. What are we actually saying? If Gyokeres ends up at Arsenal, is it a bit peak?
I just don't want him in the Premier League.
It's a bit Van der Peaky out here, isn't it?
No, not Van der Peek. It's more.
No, it's Van der Peek. No, it's Van der. No, I said it's Van der. I said it's not. Get it? It's not Van der Beek. It's Van der Peek. Van der Peaky out here, bro. It's peak.
No, they need a hit. They need someone that's just a killer in, and if they get a killer, then that's a problem.
Can you imagine? I don't really want to see Saka whipping into the back post, and this time it's not Havertz.
Yeah, I'll be honest. It'll be a terrible sight to watch Arsenal with an absolute shooter because they ain't got that right now. They've got pretty boys and stuff up front, bro. They ain't really got a hitter. And if they get Gyokeres, then my heart will be in my mouth because that's someone I know in front of goal. Even though he could miss, he's probably not going to miss, bro. And he's going to slap it with venom. I do think they need more than just Gyokeres though. But Gyokeres as the main one, that's a problem still.
I've seen a few different things as like strikers. Obviously, we're fighting over the lap, Ches. Whilst Ekatike has been linked to Newcastle and Liverpool, I think Liverpool sounds like a good. It sounds kind of like a slot player, the link up and everything. It kind of makes sense as well in a way. Except for the price tag, that made sense. And then Gyokeres is obviously got suitors. Arsenal's looking like the team you'd go to. It could be Chelsea as well, depending. But the guy says he wants to go to a team that wins trophy. Berta is on job, innit? Like I think the targets that Arsenal showing, they want to win the Prem next year. stop with these like next bummy little signings, bro. That's gonna be potential in the next 5 years. Like, who gives a fuck? You're an established side.
What? No more Sesko? Yeah.
No, I don't think Sesko's off the agenda. I think he will end up staying. I don't think he moves.
You're gonna Sesko about sailed now and that.
Yeah, I think it's settled. I think that's what Arteta want. That's not what the club and my man want. I think I think it's over. Would you not take Sesko? Do you think he's all that? Do you think he's that guy?
That's for
I
you,
don't
man.
know.
I like Sesko, but I argue that Delap could be more worth the do you know what I mean? As in,
30 million pounds is not is a good deal.
Yeah,
I don't want
Delap.
nothing. I'll take a minute.
But if you're gonna tell me Ekitike or Sesko, I don't know. Like sometimes it's a bit, every summer you get strikers and you get new flavor of the year strikers in the summer. So I think Openda as well. He's going to be available this summer for a reasonable thing. And no one's talking about Openda, but a year ago Openda was
flavor of the year.
Yeah, it was. So I don't really know. I think you got to look at Sesko. For me, is a. I don't know how ready he is if you're a top team, if you're gonna make him your man, to be leading the line. I don't watch him enough. But at 60 million, maybe 70 million, plus a hefty wage, it's what is it? 20, let's say 200 grand a week he's on. What we're looking at 10 million a year, 5-year contract. You're looking at 120 million pound outlay to buy this player. Do you know what I mean? If you're looking at a 5-year deal, I don't know.
I look at what it is with Liverpool, because they've got side down. I'm going to link this to a lot of different teams in it and try to do the striker talk quite in one as short as possible. Liverpool can afford to get to an Ekitike in it because they got gunmen, Salah, and all that. Even McAllister when he's available to shoot, they're going to go get probably another winger. Luis Diaz can shoot, get his goals. Gakpo is a gunman. Do you know what I mean? They got players that they will always have goals. And if you've got a link-up man that's more capable than what they've got at the moment, I'm not being funny. Look at what they got this season. Jota's done not that great. Nunes ain't done that great. It's not. If you're going to upgrade that, it's not that hard to bring in the Ekitike and see an improvement just like that. They can afford that. It's easy for that. It's a Jimenez type player, so it kind of reminds me of what Slot would want. It makes sense. But then you look at Chelsea, they're looking at the lap Man United. Man United's not really got much choice. Chelsea have choice, but Chelsea, what they need is someone that's actually a number 9. So the lap makes sense.
Or a goal-scoring winger, because Chelsea ain't got goal-scoring wingers.
But the thing is, it makes sense. It makes sense. The thing is, that profile for Chelsea makes so much sense because they just need a proper number 9, someone that's good at linking up. Is what Maresca is. Solanke's getting into his boots again. I think he's going to thrive at Tottenham. Next year, he's going to have a great season. I reckon that anyways. You already got Haaland. Now, it's just when you put Gyokeres in Arsenal, it makes sense. Just someone that lurks in the box. They're going to have to change the way they play a little bit. But a lot of these signings starting to make sense in terms of profiles of what's needed for clubs. But it's such a lack in it.
There's a lack.
Funny how it's a mad lack. It's funny how Isak talk has now gone quiet because everyone knows that you're not going to afford him.
Priced out, innit?
You're priced out. Yeah, you're done.
And
Newcastle are now in prime position.
You'd have to literally put in a transfer request.
And why would you? Right now,
if they don't get champs, then I see why.
Yeah.
But still, Newcastle and Arsenal, they'll price them out either way. But
Osman's another name Osman's another name that's on the agenda, but he's kind of gone quiet. It's kind of gone quiet a little bit.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams use strikers, but obviously the market is dictating who can get who. So, for example, City need another forward. I think Liverpool definitely need the ST. It's going to be interesting to see who they go for or where the strikers lie in the end.
We need a striker.
I feel like for all the clubs, we all need to make sure we get one, because I think if you don't get one, you're going to fall behind.
These smaller clubs technically are going to look good again.
I wouldn't even say about you need a striker. I'd say everyone needs to get a goal scorer.
Goal scorer, exactly. Even if it's a forward, like a left winger, or inside
just a goal scorer.
The only team who's got that, ironically, is the team who's win the league. Liverpool.
Wait, so we don't have? Hold on.
This season, not really.
We're not talking about you, but you probably need another goal scoring winger.
Yeah, you need goal scoring.
No one's covering.
Watch when Oscar Bob turns up next season. It's going to be.
The Norwegian Pele blood. That guy's. When you probably links people forget he would just be talking in fucking Norwegian to Haaland. People forget that it's you don't even understand what he's talking about on the field. He's their best. I still believe he's their best winger when he becomes fit again. I think he's cracked. Bro, I cannot
You know
wait.
what? I'm
He kind of
not
reminds,
gonna
kind of
get
reminds me of Elise. He's got that
Elise.
Elise. He's got that Elise thing about him. He's mad. I think he's sick.
He's electric.
He reminds me of a mix
Yeah.
like Sane. You know Sane? He reminds me
Like,
of Sane.
kinda-
At least.
Yeah.
Are you saying that because he's light? Because he's a light.
No, not even. No, the way he plays, he's like his left. I know he's left footed. Sane's left footed as well, but
I think he
the way
plays
he
more
moves
like.
on the ball, like,
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
kill me now. He plays like David Silva and Bernardo Silva, bro.
Oh, I hear it. It's the way he dribbles. That's for me, innit?
I'm
No,
telling
Oscar
you,
Bob's
he
back
is-
now.
he
No,
is
Oscar
fucked,
Bob's
bro.
Oscar Bob's back
starting
now.
out.
He's now.
He
He's been playing a couple games. He's
broke
gonna
his leg, though.
he's gonna take that. Whoever's right winger right now, position's gone. I think Savio's adapting to the league as well. I think he's gonna have a good season next year.
And
It's
I
gonna
was
be
telling
right
you,
back.
Foden-
plays
Foden's
best
I'm
on
telling
the
you, man,
left,
he's
though.
the golden. He's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
golden
on the left.
boy of their nation. As
So
I said,
Foden's in trouble, innit?
when I was over there,
No.
he's the golden boy of their nation. I'm telling you, the way they speak about him is different, bro.
Who Bob?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Over-
cold.
over in
He's a
Norway.
glider. He's a glider. They're gonna really. I think they're gonna change the way they play next year a bit as well. They're gonna get proper full. They're already aiming for actual fullbacks. Cambiasso being one of them. You never even know with Nico O'Reilly, brother. I know it's only been a few games, but we've done the same kind of thing.
He's looking okay though. He's not looking.
He's
great.
looking. No. If we're
He's
gonna
good.
gas up Skelly stuff as well, we're gonna gas up O'Reilly, respectively.
Oh yeah, O'Reilly and
Yeah,
Rice
respectively.
the
Straight
same height as Haaland at 19. What are they feeding him?
Bro, that's what I was saying. Straight out of
Brother.
WWF, bro.
He's
That's
basically
ridiculous.
everything that Rico Lewis thought he was meant to be. He was meant to be that.
Bro,
Yeah,
leave
yeah,
O'Reilly.
I mean, the thing is like obviously you've always got to look out for the second. What's it? The second season? I call it the second album, innit? Like with these young players, that second season is a bit peak. Do you know what I mean? Like after the adulation of that first season, I think O'Reilly will be interesting.
Like Kobe, yeah.
Like Kobe, like Pape Sarr, like and like there's so many players we could all reference here. I'm sure some of us, Palmer, I don't want to say Palmer, but second season. I was looking at Palmer's stats.
You don't want to have that conversation. You don't want to have that conversation. You don't want to have that
That's, I don't make it. I don't mean it, but like you look at this, like looking at this second season for some of these players, and it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, but
Like,
you know
I
what?
think,
You
I
know
think
it's
it's Lewis Skelly and O'Reilly. I'm not sure O'Reilly. I don't know what Pep's going to do next season with O'Reilly. You know whether or not
100% left back.
Keep him
Man.
as a left back because it's
Yeah.
now you're going to
You
buy a
know-
left back. You're going to buy a left back.
I don't know if Ake stays personally. I think he's too many injuries. The Cambias was technically a right back.
I think Ake would be outrageous. Though.
You got to think of it like this, yeah. Putting a difference between Kobe and Sarr is that they're a part of absolute dross at the moment. Man City, for what we call dross, are still up there in the league and still doing well. When we keep it a buck, yeah. They're looking at Reinders. They're looking at what's it called, verts, like serious food, yeah. But they're looking at some serious ballers, yeah. Having O'Reilly a left back, whilst you're looking at A, B, and C still, he's going to be part of a good team.
Yeah,
regardless.
but you've got Gavadio, you've got Ake.
Mardio's going to be centre back next season.
Yeah, so
by the way,
if you buy another left back,
Yeah.
listen. Obviously, they can't sell Ake, yeah, because even though he's injured,
maybe not. Someone's got to go though.
For me, City are losing too much quality and bringing in too many players that still have a step or two to go.
Yeah, but they got to
Still
refresh.
need to prove themselves.
Ake injury prone, Stones injury prone. Kyle Walker is going to go. Like,
Yeah,
let's be real.
but
Blah,
injury
blah.
prone Stones is still better than Kuznetsov. Ake is still better than O'Reilly. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I don't. John Stones is wicked, yeah, but you can't. He's available.
I know, but the players they're bringing in aren't as good as him.
Yeah, but the thing is, Ruben Diaz, Kuznetsov's never meant to be a star. They're gonna have Vardy and Ruben Diaz as their partnership. They're gonna have to look for new fullbacks on top of that because Akanji injury prone at the moment, when like he was before.
I also don't rate Vardy like that at centre back.
That's why they bought 2 18-year-olds because they're looking to move on from Ake and Stones. That's my opinion, by the way.
I get what you're saying, but this is the issue that I feel like City have had with some of these players. Like, you know, you're bringing in the balance of basically, you know, PSG, the players PSG are buying, they're the players City were buying a few years ago. Do you know what I mean? That's the kind of profiles.
I kind of see what you're saying, innit?
Do you understand what I'm saying? But the profiles City are buying, they're not buying Doué, Barcola, Kvara. They're buying Savinho, Doku. And then these players seem like a notch below these players.
Yeah, but they've also bought that Echerive, whatever his name is, Echemessi, brother. Echemessi, brother. That guy is cracked, fam. They're buying. Vitor Reis is known as a 18. I think he's 20 to be fair. As a young player, yeah, he's known as the captain of the club that he's just come from. By the way, They will play, and he can play DM. Like, bro, like they're talking leaders. They're buying some proper talent, and they will buy what Chelsea should be doing, in my opinion, Ches, is the experience on top of that. Wirtz is now experienced, still young, but experienced. Reinders is experienced now. They're looking at that kind of player. They're still looking at a bunch of other players as well, you know. Do you get what I'm saying?
Can you man understand we're going through a rebuild now? We're losing
They're doing proper things. Techie's saying with it's gonna be, for me anyways, just to obviously round up stuff, it's going to be a sick summer for all clubs, and we'll see what goes on next season.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on, and we'll see what comes out on top, innit? Tottenham are still looking at the Eze's, and you're still looking at certain players, Semenyos and all that. It's gonna be, bro. There's a lot of money's gonna be thrown around, anyways. I can't wait to get into the whole transfer stuff.
I feel like if a team has a good window, they could definitely push up the league a lot.
It's giving Conte 50 million a year, not backing Paul J.
Well, technically, with Conte, he had a couple of personal things going in second season. So, like, obviously, one of our coaches died. He was ill. Like, he had a... So,
I saw that.
And the thing is, as well, you want to talk about that. I'm like, listen, let me ask you, if you start a business, right? And then you have a guy that's on a 1-year contract, and let that guy tell you in that business that he wants to make massive changes to the business that's going to cost thousands of pounds for the business, but his contract is only for the next 6 months. Are you going to give that guy all the changes that he wants, knowing that his contract's only for the next 6 months and he may not sign? I'm not saying the club did back him. I'm just saying the logic as to why is not as simple as Tottenham don't back managers. There's more to it.
But Jay, also, what happens if that employee's portfolio is almost guaranteed success as a league manager? Because that is what his portfolio is. His portfolio is that good.
Yeah, definitely. His portfolio is that good. But then you've also got the fact of how long do you have
about tying him down? It's actually about
you got to tie him down. It's like that you got to tie him down in order to fully back him. And if he's not tied down, whether you want to or not, you can't fully back him. Like, do you know what I mean? It's bad business.
You can give him his players, he fucks up, and then
that's what I'm saying. Now
you take 3 years to kind of get things back to where you just
exactly. So I'm not. Listen, we all know we could do better, but like, yeah.
By the way,
I can do better.
Yeah. People could do better by smashing the like button, and also we're gonna be back later. By the way, a leap panel later. When Aston Villa do get knocked out, we got myself on, Monts, Jimmy, Wolfie, Catch, and then Josh. Nasty work. Anyways, this game redirected to Big Six Mans. Take love, care, all of that. Play next video. Run it up.